أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين سيدنا ونبينا وقائد مسيرتنا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين الغرر الميامين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد، قال الله تعالى في محكم كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the most merciful, may the peace and the blessings of the Almighty Allah be with and amongst all the prophets and messengers, including the last and the beloved, Muhammad, and his honorable and dignified and purified progeny. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to another program of a closer look into the glorious book, where we have been, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, examining the 18th chapter from the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Kahf, the cave. And we have reached verses 30 and 31, where we will examine verses 30 and 31 in tonight's episode. And inshallah, from the next episode onward, we will examine verses 32 onwards, which once again engages in a very beautiful story. Surah Al-Kahf has many stories. We discussed, for example, the most famous one of them, which was the story of the 7 sleepers of the cave. This is once again one of the other stories that is full of lessons for those who examine the Quran with depth and want to seek lessons from the Holy Quran. Let us go to chapter 18, verse 30. So let us please read together and examine together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا. Very important ayah, brothers and sisters. An ayah that we need to keep in our mind in our day-to-day lives. You see, the Urafa, the scholars of belief, the scholars of spirituality, have a beautiful statement here that says, some people claim that I have the utmost belief in Allah. I believe that what Allah has prescribed upon me is the best of prescription. What Allah wants for me is what will bring about happiness to me. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to humanity to follow an order, to follow laws, then they are the best of laws. I have this belief. And the Holy Quran is the final revelation that from cover to cover is meant to bring about happiness, tranquility, and salvation to people. I have this belief in the Quran. I have belief in Rasulullah, that he was as-sadiq, he was truthful. That Rasulullah brought all the message, he delivered everything. I have beliefs in the akhirah and the day of judgment. So from belief, I'm complete. But when it comes to actions, I may not be the best of people that perform those laws and put them into action and illustrate them and demonstrate them. The Urafa say that your actions reflect your belief. So if you have weak actions, your belief in Allah is weak. If you have bad actions, this is your belief. It's the reflection of your beliefs. Let me tell you something, brothers. And what they say is true. Because if I tell you, if you leave this door, there's going to be a snake. There's going to be a thief. There's going to be a murder. Will you leave this door? Will you leave this room? No. You'll stay here and you'll safeguard yourself. Therefore, you staying here will reflect that your belief in what's out there is strong and you're taking precaution. If I tell you in this cup there is poison, you will not drink that water, that liquid. Why? Because that action will reflect your belief that if I drink this poison, I will die. Now, if I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold me responsible in the next life for every dime and dollar that I have accumulated from an illegitimate source, but today I practice this, I bring about money from illegitimate sources, it means that I have weak belief in Allah. Either the weak belief is when it comes where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can't see me and I can cheat Allah. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He says I will punish, He's God forbid lying. It's a weakness of belief. Take it as you wish. So Allah says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Iman by itself is useless. I need amal. That amal reflects your iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to evaluate your iman, then evaluate your iman with your a'mal. There is a statement from Rasulullah that needs to be examined here. The statement is mentioned in the books of history, is mentioned in the books of hadith. It's not directly, does not directly concern our ayah, but I need to say this. It's an eye-opening statement. And the day of the battle of Khandaq, Amr ibn Wad was an enemy. He jumped that ditch and he landed right in the center of the Muslims. Rasulullah says, "Man lihada wa ana adman lahu al-jannah." Who will fight this man and I will guarantee him Jannah, paradise. Here, the belief in Allah and Rasulullah is evaluated. The only person that stands up the first time is Ali ibn Abi Talib. The second time, once again, Ali ibn Abi Talib. The third time, once again, Ali ibn Abi Talib. While Rasulullah calls upon the Muslims, only Ali stands up. Rasulullah says, go and fight him. And the story that many of you are probably familiar with. When he goes, Rasulullah says this statement, ذهب الإيمان كله إلى الشرك كله. All of Iman went to fight all of shirk. Here is the statement. Ali, his actions reflected the entire Iman. Ali's Iman was complete. And there, his actions to come and fight Rasulullah and to want to kill Rasulullah was the embodiment of all of shirk. Now, there were other Sahaba and Ali was the embodiment of Iman. Ali had that complete Iman. Let us learn our Iman from Ali. And that is why he has the title of Amir al-Mu'mineen. We did not choose Ali ibn Abi Talib to be our Amir al-Mu'mineen because we like the way he looks, or because he came and he gave me personally money and he personally made me something that I am today. No. I could have followed any other of the Sahaba. Why do we choose Ali? Is it because we have a personal friendship with him? No. It's because history and the hadiths and the Holy Quran prove that we should walk behind the person with full Iman. Let us go back to the ayah. There's a lot more to be said here. But let's move on, because I promised that in the next episode we will go to the story that starts from verses 32 onwards. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. So Iman and Amal. إِنَّا لَا نُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا. We will not forget the good actions that people do, whether it's in this world or the next world. Now some people say, there are people that are kafir. They don't believe in Allah, but they have good actions. أحسنوا عملا. They have good actions, beautiful actions. Their amal is hasan. Nice. We ask the following question. When Edison came and he invented electricity, the light bulbs, did he do it for God in the next world to receive his reward in the next world or in this world? The answer is he did it for this world. And he received his reward in this world. Allah gave him fame. Until today he is a worldwide famous name. Allah gave him his reward here. If he were to do it for Allah, then Allah will also reward him. If he has belief and he did it for Allah, then Allah will also reward him in the next world. People that do good for this world, for example, such as fighting poverty, but they have no belief in God. You tell them, why are you doing this? He says, because I don't like to see poverty. I don't like to see people suffer. Say, are you doing it for God? He says, no, I'm doing it for the people, for myself. So he receives his reward in this world. But we as Muslims have been instructed to do our actions for the next world. Therefore, if we see a reward in this world, it's one of the blessings of Allah. But if we do not receive our reward in this world once we do good, we should not say, see, I do good, I don't see any reward. But you see that person that doesn't have belief, look at what Allah has given him. Allah says we should do our actions for the next world. Sometimes we will be rewarded here, but mainly we should look for the reward in the next life. And now, لا نضيع. Don't think that just because you're not seeing the reward now, your actions, your reward is gone. And now, لا نضيع. We're not forgetful towards what you have done. أجر من أحسن عملا. Now, أولئك, next verse 31, أولئك لهم جنات عدن. There's many levels in paradise. One of the levels of paradise is called Jannatul Adn. Jannatu Adn. For example, there is a level in paradise known as Firdaus, Al-Firdaus Al-A'la. One of them is Adn. The descriptions of this Jannah of Adn. تجري من تحتهم الأنهار. Has beautiful rivers. And then Allah says, يحلون فيها. Allah makes them look beautiful, decorates them, beautifies them. فيها من أساور من ذهب. They wear gold. ويلبسون فيها ويلبسون ثيابا. And there they wear clothes. خضرا من سندس. Their clothes are green from silk and from the most beautiful of garments. Then he says متكئين فيها. And they lay back, they relax. على أرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقة. And the best of hangouts. Jannah was the worst of hangouts. Jahannam was the worst of hangouts in the verses that we spoke in the previous episode. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Jannah, on the contrary, is the best of hangouts. And Allah here speaks of clothes. One cloth is to beautify people, the gold that he spoke of. And the second one is to cover him. There's two types of clothes. And the dunya is the same thing. In this world, sometimes I wear clothes just to cover my body. And sometimes, no, I wear clothes to beautify myself. I wear a ring. I wear a necklace. I put on cologne. I wear a nice watch. I wear nice shoes. I wear a beautiful suit. I wear a tie. They're not to cover my body parts, but they're to beautify me. And some clothes are meant to cover my body parts. Both of them are important. And both of them reflect who we are today, brothers and sisters. A Muslim woman, a Muslim man, a youngster, whether you're old or whether you're young, make sure that you know this. What you wear reflects whom you are. A Muslim wearing a nice watch, wearing a nice suit is okay. But a Muslim wearing an earring of diamond that's worth $200,000 is not a Muslim. while your brothers and sisters are dying from hunger and starvation, you wear an earring. This is not beautification anymore. This is passing the limits of logic. This is lavishness, israf. A wedding band, your wedding ring, a nice diamond wedding ring is okay, but going and buying the most expensive wedding ring, wedding band, the most expensive diamond, just because this actress wears it and I am at the level of that actress and paying $200,000 for that ring, is beyond the level of beautification. It does not reflect who you are as a Muslim. If somebody sees this, he does not say, this is a Muslim. He says, yeah, this is a person that has too much money, doesn't know how to spend it. Therefore, let us make sure that the way we wear in this world, and I'll say this and conclude, the way that we attire ourselves in this world will reflect the way we attire ourselves in the next world. Hear me out well. If I beautify myself with modesty, without israf, Allah in the next world will reward me tremendously. But if I come and beautify myself with a lavish way, with israf that seeks the displeasure of Allah, don't expect to be beautified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beautifications on the Day of Judgment. Simple law, always keep it in mind. Our life in this world reflects our life in the next world. The way we eat, the way we drink, the way we live, the way we spend, what we wear, what we say, what we eat. And this world reflects our life in the next world. This message will be elaborated and it will be turned into an example in the next verses that will come up in the next episode. Until then, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you and safeguard you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.